o'clock. Marcellus Wiley on a Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's roll out to the Bay Area again and be joined by our NBA analyst, Ric Bucher. Rick, thanks for coming back. All right, listen, there's this whole pizza controversy engulfing is a strong word, but engulfing Michael Jordan. In the Last Dance documentary, it was argued that the flu game in Utah, the infamous game where Jordan scored 39 some odd points or whatever, despite having the flu, was actually food poisoning. Tim Grover, Jordan's trainer, told a story about 5 guys showing up to deliver the pizza, and it's insinuated that Jordan was intentionally food poisoned by this pizza. There's also a story by Jason Hare, I think the guy that put the documentary together, that Jordan actually spit on the pizza so no one else would eat it. Well, now the assistant general manager of the pizza place, who said he made the pizza himself, has said Jordan's story is crap. The story in The Last Dance is crap. He personally made the pizza. He's a Bulls fan. He named a kid after MJ. He says he bet on the Chicago Bulls. There was nothing wrong with the pizza. Said when he walked into the building, you could smell the cigar smoke. Basically insinuates Michael Jordan was up late drinking and smoking cigars, threw some pizza on top of it, and that's why he was sick. It had nothing to do with anybody intentionally food poisoning. Marcellus, whose side you on? Who do you believe here? Michael Jordan or the pizza general manager?
I believe the pizza man. The pizza man wholeheartedly is telling the truth. And there are 2 factors you have to consider that makes Michael Jordan look bad in this situation. One is LaBradford Smith. You guys remember LaBradford Smith and that conversation that Michael Jordan had about him, how he made up that LaBradford Smith told him, hey, nice game, and how he gave him the business the next night after. And you learn pretty quickly not to take Michael Jordan for every single word, that your airness is sometimes full of a lot of hot air because he's not telling you exactly the literal gospel right here. So that was one sign. And when I heard this story in real time, I immediately was thinking, this doesn't sound right. 5 guys show up to the hotel room of Michael Jordan. What happened to all the security detail? What happened to you needed a password just to get on the elevator? You mean they got by security 5 deep to deliver 1 pizza? Stop it. That makes no sense. Look, I was nowhere near Michael Jordan. I dare you come up to my hotel room for the San Diego Chargers, let alone Michael Jordan, your airness. So I didn't believe it as soon as I heard the number 5. All this wasn't a flu game. This was a full game. Dude ate a large piece of Solo with a bunch of drink in him and them cigars hit. That's a bad cocktail, man. Jordan lying, bruh.
I believe he had food poisoning, and I believe that he got it from the pizza. Look, I spent some time in Salt Lake City during that time. It was difficult. You're suggesting that if he had food poisoning, or if he did get food poisoning, the pizza manager's suggesting if he had food poisoning, he got it from someplace else. Look, he was lucky enough to find that particular pizza in Salt Lake City at that time of night. This erases the fact that people were calling it the flu game, and that was a euphemism for he went to Vegas, whether it was Wendover, Nevada, that's right across the border from Utah, or Vegas itself. Fact of the matter is, he was in his hotel room. The pizza manager verified that. Look, you're looking outside of your door, and you see, okay, 2 guys in uniform. There could have been multiple people. It could have been hotel security out there along with the pizza guys. Tim Grover gets the number wrong in terms of the guys that are delivering it. Reality is there were 2 guys delivering that pizza, and that's 1 more than I've ever had show up when they're delivering me pizza. So there was something unique going on here. I don't know that they purposely poisoned him. I don't believe that. But this guy's 2-3 weeks into the job, and he's saying, I did everything perfect. Dude, you haven't been making pizza that long. You could have screwed up, or there could have been something in that pizza. I look at the way that Jordan looked in that game, and I'm buying – That's not drink. I mean, how much you have to drink to sweat like that and to be that hungover? The next day at 7:30 tip, I am not buying it. Looked like food poisoning to me. I'm rolling with it.
Rick, I completely disagree with you because, one, the insinuation is that these guys intentionally damaged Michael Jordan. And I just don't buy that. That's way too high risk.
Kobe went through the same thing in Sacramento.
What if he gets sick? What if he gets sick and dies? Seriously, when you talk about food poisoning, somebody, it just ain't worth the risk. I just don't buy. And do I believe he potentially had food poisoning? Absolutely. You throw some cigars and some cognac down you and a large pizza at 3 a.m. when you're out athletically competing, yeah, that is how you get food poisoning. You throw all that different stuff into your system. And Michael Jordan, like a lot of young people, I used to be young once, you always think you're bulletproof. You think you can drink, eat, and do whatever the hell you want. And eventually you pay a price. And he paid a price. Michael Jordan clearly, and Tim Grove, they're not telling the truth here. I don't like it. Because I also don't like just the insinuation that these two young people in Utah did something to intentionally harm Michael Jordan. That's a pretty significant allegation just to throw out there willy-nilly when you're sitting around. And because, trust, I think I can certainly speak for myself. I'm going to speak for Marcellus. We've all been overserved and thrown some food on top of it on the way home, some Taco Bell, and been sick afterwards. That ain't on Taco Bell. That's on us.
To be clear, I'm not saying he was purposely poisoned. I don't believe that. I don't believe that they purposely put something in there. But the way he looked, I've had it. I know what that feels like. If the team doctor is saying this was food poisoning, look, they could have said it was the flu. They could have said it was all kinds of things. That's where they decided to go. And so, and this is to Marcellus's point about, like, he hasn't, the LaBradford Smith example. There was always a purpose behind what Michael did, and it was a motivation for himself. This would have been abdication of, I'm going to go get the job done. This would have been an excuse. It would have been the first time ever that Michael Jordan did something like that, unless this was simply exactly what happened.
Michael Jordan wouldn't have survived the social media era. We would have called fraud on all this a long time ago. Man, look, he stokes the fire of his mystique. Hey, we saw it through 10 episodes. All he does is put fuel to the fire of his mystique. Reality is somewhere different than what the legend of Michael Jordan is. It's okay. I'm fine with it. I don't understand why everyone plants that flag that everything he did was perfect, authentic, and genuine. The dude made up stories, and he made up this story, and he did it because he knew it would sound better, like a lot of his stories. Keep them coming, MJ. They're entertaining.
All right, we got to keep it rolling. It's time for some rubbing and racing. Kevin Harvick just won his 50th NASCAR race, moving him closer to immortality. We're going to go out to his crib. Speak for yourself from the crib, presented by Hyundai. More after this.